Bam! We're late. Hey guys, namaste. God bless. How are all of you? Happy Monday. Monday. Yeah, I'm late, man, but it's been a very busy weekend. Add an inch or two of snow, and then shit hits the fan with everybody. But hopefully you guys are all well. Had a good weekend. Safe out there. And yes, it's cold. It's one of them days I was talking about in previous shows where as New Englanders, we have to deal with this cold weather and ice and shit. But it's all good. Hopefully, you guys are well. And I wanted to share this because I wish people can grasp it. I wish they would grasp it. I mean, make it as a New Year's resolution if you want to use that kind of platform. But if any of you know, people like myself in the upper echelon of age, know this man. They know him, not how well they know him, I don't know, but they know his personality. That's Dick Van Dyke. He was doing an interview upon reaching that 100-year-old mark. I actually want to do this a couple days ago on his birthday, to honor his birthday. I wasn't a fan of his work. I'm a fan of his mentality. I mean, the guy's 100 years old, indeed. He looks like he looks old, very old for his age compared to what he used to look like, granted. But his mentality should be bottled, jarred, and served to the world on a mass scale. I mean, the hell with the COVID vaccine. Everybody should copy what this man is doing mentally. Because how many of you would give your right arm to feel good every day? I mean, literally, to have no aches, no pains, and to go through life happy. And I can honestly tell you the majority of you would. Because a mind at ease can create anything in this world. And they ask him, what's your secret? And Dick, what's your secret to this longevity? He goes, yeah, I still dance, even with his little cane, man. He still dances around with his wife, who's a lot younger than him. Keeps him youthful, he says, indeed. But his mentality, and this is very important, this is what I practice on for the longest time, and I can attest to this because it really is true. Emotion is energy, emotion indeed. What we project, we create in our lives. He goes, I don't hate people. I don't hate anyone. I'm paraphrasing, mind you. I'm using my own speech when it comes to that. But his whole aspect of life was just not hating people. Was not dwelling and not resenting anything. And look at the kind of life. He goes, I have no aches and pains. He goes, I'm older, yes, indeed. But up here I'm still a kid. I mean, if anybody can really resonate with that and truly understand that we bring everything to us because it comes through us. If you understand that mentality, life is going to give you so many more amazing things. So after seeing that, mind you, I wanted to do some research for you guys on how the mentality creates the physicality in a lot of ways. And hate is just the beginning. I mean, hate, there's a lot of synonyms in hate and resentment, anger. I mean, all these things. But it all transpires because of lessons that we were taught and ideologies of other people that we've adapted to. You know, sadly, from the attacks this weekend, it's an ideology that people have grasped it. We were born into love, but indeed taught how to hate. He never grasped any of that. He lived a simple, successful, abundant life, and granted, it's still going. I mean, that's what I like about people who are high-profile people, because these are the breadcrumbs. They featured his physical aspects for his longevity. I can guarantee you it was his mental aspects for his longevity and pain-free life. That's the whole point. Because when you're pain-free, when the little ailments and all the issues are not bothering you, I mean, look how think about how you act and feel, walk and talk. I mean, you go above cloud nine. It's when you get into those situations where this hurts and that hurts, and that's all just energy and past experiences. I mean, if you do your research on how energy flows through us and it collaborates with the cells in our bodies and it infuses it, I mean, it's amazingly interesting that you should take part in something like that, because it'll really intrigue you to make some serious changes in your life, which I've done wholeheartedly. I've jumped in the pool, man, because I wanted to have all that. When I stopped getting migraines because I stopped thinking hurt, pain, and anger, I mean, many, many moons ago. I'll get them here and there. But when I realized when I do get them, it's because I'm thinking like shit. I'm thinking pain. Oh, this is busy, stress, strategy. It just metastasizes. And when you start grasping that for yourself and you start realizing that you're drawing everything to you, man, your body's just reacting. It's in a delayed reaction. Physicality is very slow. Creation is very slow because it's very dense. But if you keep doing it, it's going to create more dense stuff in your life. And so I wanted to go on this little mission to really get into the heart of hate. And hopefully you can grasp it for yourself. And my first question that I asked myself is thought in action. And when I Googled that, I got a lot of discrepancies with that. And listen to this. It's not an action, because people think, thoughts become things. They think it's an action. No, it's not an action, but it's a seed, a precursor to the action that you take. Listen to this interesting definition, because when you realize if you're in this mindset of anger and hate, you're planting seeds in the emotional garden. And from that emotional garden, if you keep watering this emotional garden, you are going to sow and reap exactly what you don't want. And then shake your fists in the air and say, God, why me? I'm trying to help you avoid that. And it helped me in so many ways. Listen to this. Is thought an action? No. A thought is generally not considered. This is what I mean. You've got to listen to the words. A thought, it says no. A thought is generally not considered a physical action, but seeds to precursors to action, creating a link where a thought becomes a decision, leading to observable behavior. A lot of syllables in that. So it's the precursor. So your thoughts start the process. It's the seed planted in the garden. When you choose better thoughts, you grow a better garden. And that goes in wholeheartedly with Newton's third law of motion. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Here's the science back behind the emotions. Newton focuses on it as a physicality in our world, but the metaphor is basically for cause and effect, to human behavior, relationships, and personal growth. Law of attraction, like energy attracts like energy. Listen, I love this because I hope this inspires you, and I'm really passionate about that, because when I see somebody sending out that kind of energy, I just want to shake them and say, what hurt you so much to act this way? Because when people grasp that all this hate that's in the world is basically all their just suppressed emotions about themselves, they'll say, wait, how can I fix this in life? Instead of following the herd, adapting an ideology that just enhances it, or an ism, or whatever you might want to call it, life will start getting a lot better for you. But it's your cause and effect in life that's creating the cause and effect in your life. Remember that. If you don't change, nothing changes. You can't expect all these suppressed emotions and feelings to just bubble up and go away. Believe me, I wished upon that many moons ago. And I said, wait, I got to do a lot of internal work to solve the problem. I got to do a lot of forgiving. I got to do a lot of letting go, and a lot of getting rid of most importantly, the triggers that cause it. We can have all these thoughts all day long, but what we surround ourselves in a lot of ways, we become. So if you keep surrounding yourself with hate, even though I'm a loving person, but all these things keep happening to you, and all these pains and ailments and situations in life, realize you're absorbing all the energy around you. When you start living energetically in this life, instead of from an ego aspect in life, meaning exit God out, when you realize we are just amazing spiritual beings, absorbing all this energy around us, but we have a choice to be around what we want to be around. And that's the hardest thing for people to realize. But I forgot the most important thing today. It's National Cupcake Day. Gotta go on these banters, man. So grab a cupcake, man. It'll make you feel better. It's also National Bill of Rights Day. one of the most confusing documents ever created, where they actually need law scholars to define the 10 amendments of these Bill of Rights. But indeed, I mean, if you guys are history buffs, it's amazing what, I mean, I know I'm digressing here, but it's amazing when you realize what these guys went through to create this governmental structure that we live in. And that again brings up the case, political parties and anger and all this resentment and hate, and you're scrolling through it every day, and guess what you're doing? Absorbing it. And you don't even know it. You're taking the bait. You know, you got this shiny object that's off in the distance, and you keep taking the bait and sucking it in. You're creating a belief by it, and now it's running your emotional life. This is what hate does, but love does the same. Abundance does the same. And all you got to do is switch what you're allowing in. Switch the mental snapshots of every second that you're looking at the world every day. And you compound that in this vignette of this most amazing life that you can live. That's the natural process. All the hate goes away. And because you don't attract any more of it. That's the point. You stay away from the triggers that keep bringing it to you, that you're allowing in, mind you. And you know, life isn't just saying, here's more hate, even though you're a loving person. It's because you're attracting it. You're attracting everything in your life. Love, hate, success. That alone should wake you the hell up. And realize, what kind of magnet are you emitting every day? What kind of energy are you sending out? And resentment, anger, unforgiveness. Remember these words out of the quote box. Resentment, anger, forgiveness, unforgiveness. When you realize it's basically like a poison. It's a mental poison. Listen to this. Resentment is like a poison waiting for the other person to die, from an anonymous source. I've heard unforgiveness is like a poison. It's like you drinking poison, waiting on your enemy to die. Life is all about emotion. Life is all about energy. And we are in an absolute, complete control of it. But Carl Jung calls it our shadow. I love his rendition of it. But this part here, like I said, I got a lot of info tonight, man. I mean, this is a huge topic, because how many of you would want to, I mean, I would love to live to 100. I pray, even more than that, pain-free. I don't care how I live on a sense of the outside world, but mentally, I mean, peace of mind and a pain-free life. I mean, that's God right there, man. You're waking up every day with complete control of your body, your mind, and your spirit, and all you're doing is directing it and exactly where you want to go in life. But the big question is, out of all of these words that I've said tonight, and that big C word, man, that scares a lot of people, does hatred or hate cause cancer? I did the research on this, and I looked it up. Please look it up for yourself, because this is just a precursor to something that you can literally avoid in a lot of ways. Granted, I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV. No, I'm just kidding there, meatball. But information like this, because the minute you start transforming your energy, your body responds. And I've said this a billion times on America's Mentor. But the question lies again, does hate cause cancer? Those are my exact words that I sent into Google. I said, show me what you can do for me. It says no. Okay, I said fine, comma. But does hatred cause cancer? No. But chronic stress from intense suppressed negative emotions infuse the immune system and immune function and inflammation. What does it say? No, but we're not going to tell you yes it does, because it affects what? Your energy. And it goes on to say, strong negative emotions, part of hate indeed, aren't proven a direct cause. That is bullshit. Strong negative emotions aren't proven a direct cause, but managing stress and emotional health is important for overall well-being and coping with cancer. So what they're saying is, it does, but kind of go beyond that, and, you know, just because we're all going to get it anyway. That's basically what it's saying. If you really break down the narrative of what the medical journals were telling us, they're saying basically it does, but we're not going to tell you it does, but just to keep yourself ready, because it's going to come anyway. I mean, what kind of life is that? Really think about that. That would scare the hell out of you. What you hate, indeed, will hate you. I'll read you The Shadow by Carl Jung, because it'll show you that everything that's happening to you life is basically a reflection of what you're sending out. His observation of this is brilliant, because it goes into the little quirks and the irritants that start the process that go in this cauldron, that slowly bubble up and that create hate in your life. Hating things, hating people, hating what people do, hate. It all starts with little irritants like this. But the little irritants aren't the people, it's you that attracts those kind of people in your life. Listen to this. This is friggin' brilliant. Carl Jung, The Shadow. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to understanding ourselves. That was an eye-opener, because I said, wait, am I the cause of getting all this stuff in my life? Indeed, I was. And that was the revelation that kind of got the wheels turning in my life. Because when I realized I was the cause and life is the effect, then life started really, I said, wait, I better start observing more and more and more of what I'm emitting every single day. He goes on to say, meaning strong negative reactions to people often reveal our own unconscious flaws, fears, and disowned traits, which we project onto others. In other words, we're sending out crap, and we're wondering why crap is coming back at us. It's a really a simple assumption. But think about what he said in the last part. Irritations are powerful mirrors for self-discovery. So if you're encountering all these situations every day of people, effects, and all the things around you, and you really take an inventory of your deep emotional thoughts and what you've been conditioned to believe in your life, you'll understand the cause. And you realize life is just the effect from that cause. And that alone is pivotal to transformation, because you can drink the green juice all day, man. You can do all the, like they're saying, flaxseed oil and all this other crap that'll help save your life. But if you're an emotional mess, all of that interlude is nothing. It's nothing. It can't help you, because emotional power is top rated to everything in your life. And your thought process is creating your life experiences from that. The minute you start changing that, you have this quantum leap, per se, or epiphany in how you're thinking. You start analyzing what you're thinking. And then that's so important to, most importantly, a pain-free life. I mean, I don't care how long I live. I love to live to be like Dick Van Dyke, up to 100 years old. That's fantastic. God bless him. He's still jacking around with a little black cane, having the time of his life. That's what I love. If you can do that with your life, you succeeded, because you're living a life of abundance, abundant health, abundant love, abundant peace, and that just can only resonate. So everything starts within. Everything's an inside job. So if your outside world is not going the way you think about, it's because of the way you think about. Guys, I hope this helped. Happy Monday to you. Enjoy your Monday. Stay friggin' warm, man. America's Mentor _radio on Instagram. # American Mentor on YouTube. Thousands of views from YouTube. Guys, you are awesome. Much love to the new subscribers and followers. I appreciate all of you. God bless. Enjoy your Monday, guys. Stay warm. I hope this helped. I'll see you soon, man.